the communities and in our state. The people we are recognizing know that we are to take nothing for granted. The progress we've made has been because of the hard work of disability advocates who choose not only to protect their rights, but look out for the rights of others. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for your example of service and leadership. Now it is my privilege to introduce our next speaker, who has always been a champion for people with disabilities. His presence at the Gold Awards every year and his support of the work that we are here to recognize and celebrate demonstrates his commitment. Our accomplishments on disability issues during his administration as governor is unmatched in the history of our state. It is bittersweet that this is our last Gold Awards of his administration. It has been the honor of my lifetime to serve in his administration, and an honor for me to present to you the governor of our great state, Governor John Bel Edwards.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Good morning, everybody, or rather, good afternoon. You know, I was at a groundbreaking a while back in Southwest Louisiana, and it was just a torrential, this was years ago, torrential downpour. And some of the investors in the project were from Korea and Japan. And they let me know that was a wonderful thing because they regard rain on any big day as a blessing. I am so thankful of that rain out there today, though, because we've been in drought for so long and we've needed a long and sustained soaking rain. And I think it's going to rain today and tomorrow and Wednesday. And I mention that to you because I pray that this is also a sign of God's blessing on you all and on your work and on the people that you work for. That's certainly the way that I am going to take it, and I'm going to give thanks to that. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 Gold Awards. The governor's Outstanding Leadership in Disabilities. That's what GOLD stands for. And I want to start by talking about the young lady who just introduced me, and that's Bambi, for her leadership, her tireless work, her advocacy at the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs over the last 8 years. This is a very bittersweet time for me. You know, just about, well, not just about now, every time I do something that I only do once a year, and pretty soon, for things I only do once a month, I'll be doing them for the last time as governor. I am so proud of Bambi and her leadership. I'm proud of everybody who currently works at the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, who has previously worked, because if you look back at the listing of things that have been accomplished over the 8 years for the people in our state who have disabilities, and the work being done by the advisory council and so forth, it is extraordinary. I mean, just truly extraordinary, and it is, I am inspired by the goodness and decency of the people of our state, and I say this all the time because it's true. But you all, the people in this room, your goodness and decency is just so remarkable. And it truly is inspiring to me, and I think inspiring to others to emulate you in your service. And that really is why we have the Gold Awards, to recognize you all, to thank you for your service, but also to make sure that the example you set is one that is shared with more people around the state so that they too can be inspired to better serve our state and those with disabilities. So Bambi, on behalf of the 4.7 million people in our state, the vast majority of whom probably don't know you or your name or the office that you lead, thank you so much for the work that you've done every single day. And we do have, and I'm not going to single out everybody who's being recognized today, but two of the individuals here are very dear friends of mine and have been for a long time. And they've had a great position from which to lead in all areas relating to our state. But their compassion and their goodness, their decency is just remarkable. And their track record of work on behalf of everyone in our state, but particularly those who, for whatever reason, may be vulnerable, is without match. And so I want to thank Senator Fred Mills and Senator Gerald Boudreaux, who are both here with us. Thank you so much. So I'm not going to be too long today. As Bambi said, I've been to each of the Gold Awards held while I was governor. And the one that I missed, we all missed, and that was back in 2020. But there were a number of things that we've been able to accomplish together. And she gave you the full listing, and I'm going to go over just a few of those in just a moment. But what we can never talk about and articulate and list for the people of our state are all the individual actions happening in communities all across our state every single day to better serve all of our brothers and sisters with disabilities. And that's because you're doing them. You're doing them every day, and you don't do them for the recognition, but you are making a tremendous difference for people all across our state. And so I thank you all for that. But then getting together and working together, we have been able to accomplish some other things. So, for example, in terms of making Louisiana a better place, more accessible place, an inclusive place to live, to work, and so forth, we have raised the rates for home and community-based waivers. You know, when I became governor, we had a $2 billion deficit, and a lot of people were looking for projects and programs to cut or to eliminate. That was not my mindset at all, and that wasn't the mindset of Senator Mills or Senator Boudreaux either. And so we set about first stabilizing our finances and then growing them over time and making needed investments. And the increased amount we've been able to invest in community-based waivers, I think has been truly significant. We have funded comprehensive dental services for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We have funded cameras in special education classrooms across the state. We've also made employment of people with disabilities a real priority. You may remember that I signed an executive order many years ago creating the State as a Model Employer Task Force and requiring state agencies to develop a plan to increase employment of people with disabilities within their agencies. Through this work, the Louisiana Employment First Report and the Louisiana Employment Resource Guide were developed. And then there's a whole litany of other progress that has been made, from voting rights, I mean, you just name it. And one of the goals that I had as governor was to have the most diverse, inclusive administration in our state's history. And I can tell you we delivered on that promise. And not for the sake of the optics, although I think the optics are important. I think that everybody, every young man and woman, every boy and girl deserve to see somebody in state government in a position of authority who looks like they do. It can inspire them to know that they too can serve in similar capacities. But it really wasn't about the optics. It was really about the quality that can only come from diversity. Because look, I have nothing against white men. I happen to be a white man. But if everybody's sitting around the table trying to figure out what our most pressing issues are and then coming up with policies and initiatives to address those issues. If everybody looks like me, there will be problems we never recognize, and there will be solutions that we never contemplate. Well, the same thing is true with people with disabilities. If you have everybody sitting around the table, and no matter how well-meaning they are, no matter how well-educated they are, and in what capacity they work, but if everybody's sitting around the table trying to figure out how to make life better for those with disabilities, if none of them have disabilities, it really is extremely hard to do. And that's why I appreciate Not About Us Without Us. I mean, that's what the disability community is saying there. And so I really appreciate all of y'all's efforts. Today, we are going to honor some truly incredible individuals who absolutely represent the very best of our state. These awards are given to men and women, boys and girls, who have been nominated because they go above and beyond every single day to improve the lives of individuals with disabilities. And they represent a very wide variety of our population. Some are self-advocates, advocating for themselves and family members and so forth. Some are volunteers, some are service providers. And I do think it's important that we take the time to recognize these individuals because the work that they do 99.9% of the time flies under the public radar. And they don't really seek the spotlight, but it's proper on occasion to shine the spotlight on these individuals nonetheless, to thank them, and then again, so that their service can inspire other people. Many people never understand how fiercely individuals living with disabilities have to advocate for themselves and their families until it's their loved one who is in need of assistance. So I want to thank all of you for your selfless work on behalf of Louisianans with disabilities. I encourage you, I'm going to be praying for you to keep up your amazing work. Keep advocating to make Louisiana a better place, because while I'm very proud of the progress that we've made, this is one of those areas where we will never spike the ball in the end zone and say, okay, we've won, mission accomplished, we're done. Every single day there is more work to do. And that will be the case for all of our lives, and then for subsequent generations too. And so some people can see that and they say, well, then what's the purpose? Well, the purpose is so that today is better than yesterday and that tomorrow will be even better than today. And when you make people's lives better, you are doing the Lord's work. And there's no group of people in our state doing the Lord's work better than the people in this room today. So on behalf of the state of Louisiana, I thank you, and God bless you, and God bless the great state of Louisiana. Thank you.
Governor, we know you have a busy schedule and have to leave, but thank you again for your leadership and showing up for the Gold Awards for the disability community and the people of the state every single day. We are so excited to not only have the current Governor's Office of Disability Affairs staff presenting awards today, but we also have past GOLDA staff presenting as well. Attorney Jamar Ennis, Dr. Melanie Washington, Jessica Lewis, Jolyn Jolivet, Alicia Vaillant, and Lillian Dejean will be on the program and will always be a part of our team. And without further ado, we'll begin our presentations.
Good afternoon. My name is Alicia Vaillant. Until a few months ago, I served as the Executive Director of the State Interagency Coordinating Council for Early Steps within the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs. This year, we are excited to have 2 state senators selected as elected official of the year. This award is given in recognition of extraordinary service by an elected official that has substantially supported or enhanced the opportunities for people with disabilities. It is my honor to present Senator Gerald Boudreaux with the Elected Official of the Year award. Senator Boudreaux has been a reliable ally to the disability community. As a member of the Finance Committee, he helped to ensure that funding was appropriated for programs that are vital for the disability community. He authored legislation establishing the Community Options Waiver Fund for people who are aging and the Post-Secondary Inclusive Education Fund for funding programs for students with intellectual disabilities. He also authored legislation allowing the creation of a pretrial diversion program for veterans diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Senator Boudreaux has always been accessible to the disability community. If you need advice on moving disability issues forward, he would be a great person to speak to on this issue. He is a man of action. A local radio personality recently interviewed Senator Boudreaux. During the interview, the DJ commended Senator Boudreaux on his work with the disability community. He responded with accolades for Bambi and members of the disability community. Although we all know that Senator Boudreaux has been a dependable advocate for the people of the disability community, one of his comments was, "We never do enough." Perhaps this "we never do enough" attitude is the reason in my own personal journey to spread sickle cell awareness, Senator Boudreaux only asked, "When, where, and how much do you need?" Perhaps this "we never do enough" attitude is what led Senator Boudreaux to not only support me, my son Antonio, and my late husband, Don Boyan, a sickle cell warrior and kidney transplant recipient, through our ups, downs, highs, and lows, but also many of his constituents. We love you, Senator Boudreaux, and appreciate everything you have done for us.
Thank you, Alicia, and I know we have a long program, and they said a few words, so we're going to keep it that way, a few words. As I have said, we never do enough for our veterans. We never do enough for those most in need. And I know Senator Mills is going to share this. I'm sharing it with Senator Mills because he was in the Senate before me, and he's a guy who showed me some of the important things. You know, a lot of people sponsor bills that make you, public out there. You fight for things, but Senator Mills has fought for things that people run from, and I've learned from that. I'll just close by just saying, as a legislator, I look at it as my job to balance the playing field, just to give all of those of us who work and serve in the disability community that quality of life that we take for granted every day because we were truly blessed with a lot more physical and motor skills. So I accept this on behalf of all of the legislators, and I ask you to join me in prayer as we send Governor Edwards off after 8 years, that our next governor understands how important this is, and that we as advocates remain active, and those elected officials who I will continue to serve with for the next 4 years, never forget those most in need. Thank you all, and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Joel Jolivet, and I've served in almost every role within the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, except for Bambi's, of course. And I've also served in other roles within the Governor's Office. It's my honor to also present the Elected Official of the Year award to Senator Fred Mills, who has been a true friend to the state. Senator Mills was the author of the legislation creating the regional human service districts and authorities across the state, providing access to medicinal marijuana and expanding access to telehealth, to name a few. He has also been instrumental in ensuring that many programs that people with disabilities depend on were properly funded. Kay Marcel, former longtime chairperson of the Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council, shared this. Fred Mills was one of the most accessible and effective legislators when I was advocating for people with disabilities. He listened thoughtfully to concerns and provided guidance and support. His work in the Louisiana legislature has increased access to home and community-based supports and services, affording opportunities in children and adults like her son to exercise self-determination, be independent, productive, and integrated, and included in all facets of community life. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Fred Mills.
First of all, let's give Bambi and her staff a huge round of applause. I'll be brief also, and I want to thank Senator Boudreaux. He is just, we need to give him another round of applause. His heart is as big as this building. Thank you, Senator. You know, I just want to say something that I have learned so much from you. You're the kindest people I have ever met. Every time you would come to the Capitol, you advocated a position from a position of love. You never complained. And I think if we had more people advocating for their passion like you advocate for your passion, we'd have a much better world. You know how to do it with absolute grace and sincerity, and the success that you do have, or Senator Boudreaux and I have had, and the governor's had, and Bambi and the staff has had, is because of you. And I want to thank you. And, you know, I just have a few weeks left in office, and I've received a few awards in my life, but you saved the best for last, and you really made my heart warm with your love. Thank you all very much. And God bless y'all. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Keandria KJ Henry, and I currently serve as the Assistant Director for the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs. The next award is the Public Servant of the Year Award. This award is given to a government employee in recognition of outstanding achievement in hard work and dedicated service for people with disabilities. Now I would like to welcome Dr. John Schweitzer to introduce the award recipient.
That's lovely. I've got to be honest, when I first met Dr. Mitchell, I wasn't sure that we were going to get along well at all because he disagreed with me. And he also pointed out the error of my thinking, and I learned to love that. Jim and I go back to the Katrina days, and during those days, everyone knows that what we needed was immediate information that would allow our government to help us out of a dire situation. And Jim brings credentials. I'm not going to go into great detail, but his resume was 15 pages long. So I reduced it down to one page, and I'm not going to read it, but Jim has been the top-level technical and scientific individual with something called geospatial information systems. I'm not going to give you a definition for that. I'll let him do that. But basically, it allows us to know where things are in next to real time so that people can respond and do the right thing. Dr. Mitchell has been so active in his career that I can't really go through all of it, but I'm hoping he will give you some of the details. But one of the things that we did first of all was to help MDAC, Emergency Management for Aging and Disabled Coalition, which has received an award over the last couple of years, to have something called a geospatial map. And we found out that Red Cross uses that technology. And so first responders and the individuals that are working with elderly disabled would have the most current information. We had an issue with flood gauges. No one knew where they were, and he immediately developed a map that allowed us to have that without knowing too much about how to use the technology. So that's the sort of thing he's been doing for year after year after year. Without further ado, let me introduce Dr. Jim Mitchell, my dear friend.
Thank you, John, Bambi and staff, and the conspiracy that nominated me for this award, Charles and Bo. But I'm afraid this selection has been stolen. Everybody knows that Bambi is the public servant of the year. I'm not going to bore you with all the stuff that John was talking about because that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for, past heroics on the track, awards I've earned, the team I led that evacuated 1.4 million people in front of Katrina, the national, international recognitions I've gotten for the geographic information systems that I implemented at DOTD. That's not why I'm here. I'm here for the things that I've done for myself. This is, like was stated earlier, self-advocacy. I feel a little bit, like this is like enlightened self-interest. I do this because it's going to help me, and I do it because it's going to help, the community. There are a lot of people that are public servants whose job it is to help the disability community. That's not my job. I'm an IT guy, the guy everybody loves to hate. Everybody hates IT. But anyway, so when times get tough and things get hard, I think of some words that come from Pink Floyd. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Did they get you to trade your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Would you exchange a walk-on part in the war for the lead role in a cage? If you have a disability, you got the walk-on part in the war. It's your decision whether you're going to take the lead role in a cage. So please join me and do what we can to help the disability community of Louisiana. Thank you.
The next award is the Educator of the Year Award. This award is given in recognition of an outstanding individual who has contributed significantly in educating people with disabilities in our community. The recipient of this award is Jerlinda Beckers, who is an associate professor at Southeastern Louisiana University and full-time special education faculty member in the Department of Teaching and Learning, and teaches both undergraduate and graduate students. Dr. Beckers goes above and beyond her role as an educator in focusing on educating university students in the field of special education. She works diligently to incorporate theory into practice in all of her courses to ensure real-world experiences for her students. She is a strong advocate for recruiting students into a major in special education to ensure a more knowledgeable workforce in the critical needs area of special education. Dr. Beckers goes above and beyond her role as a faculty member by serving as the director of Lions Connected, which focuses on career education and transition of students with disabilities. Lions Connected is a certified comprehensive transition and post-secondary program. Dr. Beckers works closely with on-campus inclusive vocational opportunities, community partnerships, parents, and most importantly, college-age peer mentors to ensure a positive college experience for our Lions Connected students. She was instrumental in expanding inclusive vocational opportunities. Dr. Beckers also serves as co-faculty advisor for Southeastern's Student Council for Exceptional Children organization. In this capacity, Dr. Beckers supervises the student events associated with the organization and incorporates several service learning opportunities. Dr. Beckers has had many years of experience through the Louisiana Council for Exceptional Children Executive Council at the state level, planning and implementing the annual State Conference on Special Education. Dr. Beckers serves on the Louisiana Special Education Advisory Panel. Dr. Beckers leads the LAPI, Louisiana Alliance for Post-Secondary Inclusive Education, designed to build the capacity of inclusive opportunities available at the post-secondary educational institutions throughout Louisiana. She is a prime example of an advocate committed to the field of special education and career education and transition of students with disabilities. Dr. Beckers.
I am both honored and humbled to receive this award. In the 31 years I have been an educator, a special educator, my career began working with the most challenging students in public school education, although it was the most rewarding probably of my entire career of 31 years. As a higher education faculty member, I recruit, teach, and I'm not quite sure the word, but our undergraduate students who share the same passion as I do to make a difference in the lives of individuals with disabilities. We right now are in a critical shortage of highly qualified special education teachers, so I think it's so valuable to have these young people entering our field. And the graduate students who are in the classrooms, who come back to college to improve their abilities to work with our students, it's instrumental. We need good certified teachers for our students with disabilities. And most recently, the work I've done for the Inclusive Post-Secondary Education, LAPI, it gives the opportunity for our students to go and have a post-secondary experience. And I was asked when I was in the testifying at the legislation, which was new for me as an educator, why? I'm like, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't our students with disabilities have the same opportunities as every other student in our state to receive a post-secondary experience? So I am very thankful for the opportunities of the teachers I've met along the way, the legislators I've met along the way, the parents, the advocates, and the students with disabilities themselves who become advocates as they grow older, because they become the next generation of helping us as educators improve the education and the lives of students with disabilities in our state. So again, thank you very much.
As an Air Force officer, it is my honor to present the Veteran of the Year Award. This award is given in recognition of a veteran with a disability who has served honorably in the United States Armed Forces and has a record exemplary service in the disability community. I know this weekend we've celebrated Veterans Day, and it's a pleasure that we get to celebrate this gentleman again today. It's my honor to present this award to Paul Ganocho and read this letter on behalf of Tiffany Richard. I nominated Paul Ganocho for his hard work as a board member of the Acadiana Autism Society. Paul has the distinction of being the first self-advocate to become a board member of the Acadiana Autism Society. He consistently goes the extra mile for the Autism Society. A notable achievement of his is his efforts to get the local autism community involved with the Acadiana Diversity Job Fair, so the members of the Acadiana Autism Society have every opportunity to find meaningful employment. Paul is an asset to the Acadiana Autism Society and deserves to be acknowledged as such. That is why it was a pleasure to nominate him, and that is why I'm glad he is receiving the Veteran of the Year Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Ganocho, Veteran of the Year.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow advocates, I stand before you today deeply humbled and incredibly honored to receive this prestigious award. This recognition is not just a personal achievement, but a testament to the collective efforts of a remarkable group of people who have supported and inspired me along this transformative journey. First and foremost, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Tiffany Richard, a fellow board member at the Autism Society of Acadiana, who believed in my advocacy and nominated me for this award. The entire board, a group of extraordinary individuals, has been instrumental in amplifying my voice and advocating for the crucial needs of youth transitioning into adulthood. I must also acknowledge the unwavering support of Donnie Fontenot, my VFW post commander, who not only provided opportunities for me to serve fellow veterans in UNIS, but also became a pillar of support, akin to a brother, especially during challenging times. My gratitude extends to Jamie Duplichin and Sharon Hennessy of People First of Louisiana, as well as Nicole Scott Johnson Flores and Christy Curtis of Families Helping Families of Acadiana, for embracing grassroots disabilities advocacy and allowing me to be part of a movement that strives for inclusivity and equal opportunities. A special mention goes to Dr. Phil Wilson and the LSU HSC LEND program for providing a platform for me to share my perspectives as an autistic adult with educators and service providers. Their commitment to understanding diverse experiences is truly commendable. Last but certainly not least, my deepest appreciation goes to my wife, Cassie. Her unwavering support and encouragement has been my anchor, pushing me to discover a renewed sense of purpose facing medical discharge and subsequent autism diagnosis as an adult. In giving these incredible individuals the only thing I had to offer, time, I received something far greater in return, and that was purpose. Together, we are working towards a common mission, much like I had as my role in the Marine Corps as a force multiplier in the war on terror, only today I find myself becoming a force multiplier in my community, contributing to a collective effort against inequity. As I reflect on my journey, I am reminded of the power of dedicating just a few hours a week to a cause we all hold dear. Each one of us has the ability to be the change we wish to see in a world that may seem unfair, unkind, or too slow to change. I am truly grateful for the support that has brought me this moment, and I accept this award with a commitment to continue encouraging others to invest their time to meaningful causes as well. To everyone here today and those across St. Landry, Acadia, and Evangeline parishes, please consider supporting Toys for Tots this holiday season, which is my current mission that requires collective effort and dedication. Thank you all for having me here today. Let us continue to work together, dedicating our time to make a positive impact and be the change we aspire to see in the world.
Hello, my name is Jamar Ennis, and I served as Assistant Director for the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, and I'm currently the Executive Director of the Statewide Independent Living Council. I'm honored to present the Family of the Year Award. This award is given in recognition of a family who has a family member or family members with disabilities who, by involvement in the community and mutual support of one another, are example of courage, strength, and unity for other families in Louisiana. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Randy D'Artes, the Executive Director of SLIC, to introduce the award recipient, the Crater family.
Thank you, Jamar. It's a great honor to introduce a particular family that is not only a blessing to those that know them, but also a blessing to the community that they serve. This family has overcome many obstacles within their own family, yet still have the capacity, the desire, and the willingness to reach out and enrich the lives of others within their community. When a need arises, they never falter from helping, giving, serving, or advocating for those in need. I would like to start with Danielle. She is a wife, a mother of 4 sons. Garen, Garrick, and Gavin are 17-year-old triplets who were born with cerebral palsy. 2 of the triplets have severe needs and are chair-bound. Their care is extensive and physical demands which Danielle tackles on a daily basis. She has them up and ready to go on the school bus by 5 a.m. daily. Danielle also works a full-time job for a nonprofit organization providing service for those with disabilities. She is the first to arrive to work and the last to leave, ensuring that those with disabilities maximize their independence, remaining free from institutions and group homes if they desire. Danielle gives her time to organizations and committees such as Families Helping Families, Parent Advisory Group. She is also a member of the Statewide Independent Living Council. She is an advisor of People First of Louisiana and played an active role in the PHE Post-Focus Group for paid family caregivers. In addition, Danielle mentors mothers who are parents of children with disabilities, creating a positive outlook on a situation that might not otherwise be so bright. Philip, Danielle's husband, also has a huge responsibility caring for their boys, so much so that he gave up a lucrative career in the oil industry to pursue his passion for helping people. This career path change has given Philip more time with his family, which has always been his top priority. He is also a veteran who served in the Navy for 11 years and has actively volunteered his skills and services to nonprofit entities. Philip is currently an interim executive director for a nonprofit agency that provides independent living services to people with disabilities and to the elder. To show the values that they have instilled in their family, Hadley, their oldest son, 23 years old, who recently graduated from the University of Louisiana, with a bachelor's degree in finance. He, in addition, worked for a nonprofit organization while attending college and plays a huge role in the care of his brothers. This family truly has dedicated their lives to helping individuals with disabilities and the elderly. They are true servants in the definition of selflessness. It gives me great joy to present to you Family of the Year, the Crater family.
Good afternoon. What an honor it is to be in a building so full with amazing individuals. Danielle and I don't feel we deserve this award. When we found out we were selected as Family of the Year, we were speechless and touched to have been considered and chosen. As I started to write some notes on what we would say today, Danielle and I both had tears in our eyes, and she quickly nominated me to do the speaking. So please bear with me. First, we'd like to thank everyone who took time to write letters of recommendation and nominate our family. It is a blessing to be surrounded and supported by such a great group of people. We learned this nomination was started with our Southwest Louisiana Independent Center and the statewide Independent Living Council. Thank you all to all the members of both organizations. Thank you to Mr. Randy Dortez, who's the Executive Director of SLIC, and to Mr. Jamar Enos, who's the Executive Director for Statewide Independent Living Council. We appreciate all the kind words. So it's said it takes a village to raise a kid. It's taken us a mini city to care for and raise the triplets. There are many people deserving recognition today. It's not just the family you see here on the stage that's honored with the award, but a large group of people in our mini city. So thank you to all the direct support workers, nurses, and staff who've helped out over the years. Without their love and support, I don't know how we could have made it through each day. We consider them all to be part of our family. Thank you to the grandparents. They've been there since day one, providing love, guidance, and support. From sleepless nights in the NICU and ICU to babysitting so we can have adult nights out for ourselves, even staying overnight some nights so we can have a night away. We love you all. A special thank you goes to Danielle's sister, Darby Conco. Danielle informed me she was the one who took her under her wing and taught her everything about services available for the boys. You set a strong foundation for where we are today. We love you so much. It's this foundation and guidance that started Danielle on the path to being an advocate, and helping those in need. The boys have helped grow this love and give us strength each day to put one foot in front of the other. It is Danielle and I's passion for advocacy and helping starts right here with these boys. At birth, the doctors were not sure if Gavin would survive. Today, he's a senior at Southside High School and has been accepted to UL Lafayette. Thank you for helping out every chance you get and having a kind and patient heart. We're proud of you and love you very much. Almost done. Thank you, Hadley, for being an amazing big brother. When Hadley played sports, he always wore the number 3. Danielle never knew why he would wear this number, but a couple years ago, he informed us he wore the number to represent his triplet brothers. Thank you for being an amazing son and helping out with your brothers. Your heart is one of compassion and love. It has not gone unnoticed, and we love you very much. Last and certainly not least, we want to thank God for giving us the daily strength needed to keep it all together. Thank you for providing us an amazing family and community that supports us. In closing, through our work with Southwest Louisiana Independent Center, we encounter many families we feel are more deserving. So thank you all one final time.
now that our hearts are extremely full. My name is Dr. Melanie Washington, and I served as the Executive Director of the State Interagency Coordinating Council for Early Steps within the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs, and I'm currently the Executive Director of the Children's Cabinet. I'm honored today to present this Direct Support Professional of the Year Award. This award is given in recognition of extraordinary service by a direct support professional that has substantially enhanced life for people with disabilities to live more independently and productive, as well as support self-determination and individual development. Now, I would like to welcome Cody and Brad Wilson to introduce the award recipient.
Hi, I'm Cody, and this is Brad Wilson. We're here to tell you why we nominated Josh Mujo as Direct Support Professional of the Year. I want to just share some words that were a part of his nomination packet. From his nursing agency, Josh possesses a rare combination of technical expertise and genuine empathy. His ability to connect with patients and their families on a personal level creates a sense of trust and comfort, which is invaluable in a healthcare setting. One of the most striking aspects of Joshua's work is his adaptability and quick thinking. In a field where circumstances can change rapidly, he remains calm under pressure and is able to make sound decisions that ultimately benefit the patients in his care. He consistently goes the extra mile to ensure each patient's unique needs are met. From my sister, I came to visit and I heard talking in the back of the house. I went to see what was happening, and it was the most precious thing. It was Josh interacting with and talking to Braden the entire time he was with him. I don't recall many of the other nurses ever doing that before. How Josh treated Braden like a real person, interacting with him as if he could one day actually talk back, has had a huge impact on my perception of what nursing could be for someone like Braden. In witnessing this amazing type of care for my nephew who cannot speak, it gave our family such peace and gratitude knowing Braden was in such wonderful hands. Over the years, Josh has definitely become family, and he views Braden, AKA Bubba, as his own brother. His love and care and dedication are something that is missing in healthcare today, and Josh brings that to the workplace every single day. From my husband, Josh's level of devotion and unwavering commitment to his care is second to none. I fully believe, as Braden's father, that his quality of life has greatly improved since Josh took his case. Josh's level of care was no more evident than the day that Braden's ventilator experienced a mechanical failure. This was at a time of day when Josh was alone with Braden. His actions proved to be invaluable to saving Braden's life, and Braden did not need to be hospitalized as a result, nor sustain any further injury. We characterize Josh as a meaningful part of our family and truly feel that he is Braden's best friend, offering selfless devotion to Braden and his care. And now here's some from my letter. I've made some adjustments to share. We have an everyday hero who wears scrubs as his superhero costume. While our son fought for his life on a regular basis, his committed daily daytime nurse, Josh Mujo, is the stuff legends are made of. He's dependable, reliable, loyal. The kind of devotion Josh showed to Braden is evident. He was the most protective daytime dad over our pillow angel and how he was cared for. Josh doted on our boy and bought him little things to help with his care, like compression socks, new manly soaps to try, or even new hair products. Josh had mastered the art of caring for his long curly hair as he helped us grow it for donation to a children's wig charity. Josh spent his days reading chapters of their shared adventure book, dressed him up, helped him with therapies, stretched him, and always made up new nicknames for him. Josh had also learned to be Braden's voice, even helped us get a good photo of our Braden so that he could be in his first ever yearbook as a sophomore in high school. He could have just come to work and treated his duties as a job, but instead he chose to love our son. Earlier, you heard a reference to the incident surrounding the failure of the ventilator. It was a day our son could have easily perished. 12 seconds is the length of time it took for our son to be in imminent danger. That harrowing incident was thwarted by the quick thinking and fast action by Nurse Josh, and our boy lived to see another day. There is no 911 for a situation like ours, when every second counts. That day, Josh earned his place as Braden's keeper, caregiver, provider, brother, best friend, protector, and hero. His quick action saved Braden's life that day, but it was Josh's everyday care that kept Braden out of the hospital due to his constant vigilance over every part of Braden's care. Before Nurse Josh, we had over 100 hospital admissions. With Josh on our case since 2017, Braden was only hospitalized twice. Braden's quality of life was tremendously improved when Josh became his primary home health nurse. We have no doubt that we got many bonus years with our son because of the level of dedication and care provided by Josh to Braden. You see bee pins on us today to honor our son. And I think those of you in the disability community can appreciate why we have embraced the bee. Science says those tiny little wings cannot support the fat little body of the bee. But God says the bumblebee can fly, and so it does. Our son was granted 10 miracles to remain on this earth, 15 and a half years beyond what science offered as the probability. Don't let the world put limitations on you. You are a bumblebee, and you too can fly high. Josh, I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award than you. I know Braden is proud of you too. Sorry. Well done, good and faithful servant. May you carry Braden's memory and honor him, continuing your amazing care for others. We believe you will excel wherever you go from here. We are forever grateful for all you've done for our family.
Man, quite an introduction, gotta tell you. Hello, everyone. My name is Joshua Mujo. Firstly, I want to say it is an honor to be here celebrating this achievement with all of you here today. Special and sincere thanks to all those who took the time and effort to nominate me for this award. I can honestly say I will never find another family like the Wilsons. Cody, Brad, Layla, and Braden have always made me feel so welcome in their home, like a true member of their family. And what a talented, hardworking family they are. Spending the last 7 years caring for their son Braden has brought value, compassion, trust, and knowledge into my life and position. It was an environment where my energy, effort, and passion were invaluable, not only for my development as a nurse, but for Braden's development as a young man. I will always be thankful for your family for providing me an environment where this level of care was possible. Because of this, I can say that, like a fine wine, I continue to become better with time. Keeping Braden out of the hospital for so long is proof of my constant devotion to nursing and your family, and I wear it like a badge of honor, not only of what I can do, but what I will continue to do after this award. The next group of people I'd like to thank is Aviana and their current administration. Aviana Healthcare has been instrumental in my growth as a nurse and a human being. Specifically, I'd like to thank Ashley, Dorla, and Brianna for always being in my corner. Hopefully they're still in my corner when I ask for a raise after this award. Special thanks to all the other families and nurses I've had the pleasure of working with. I take comfort in thinking Braden is here now, watching over the ceremony with his wings, with pride in his heart for his best friend, caregiver, and nurse. Thank you all.
Hello, my name is Jessica Lewis, and I served as the Executive Director for the Statewide Independent Living Council within the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs. I am honored to present this award to the Employer of the Year. This award is given in recognition of outstanding achievement in providing integrated, competitive employment and career opportunities for people with disabilities. Now, I would like to welcome Ida Curry to introduce the award recipient.
It is my pleasure and honor to nominate J.P. Morgan Chase in Monroe on Kansas Lane, one of the leading banks and mortgage companies in the United States, for the Employer of the Year Gold Award. Located in Monroe is a large complex where J.P. Morgan Chase processes the mortgage documents for its customers nationwide. The operation provides employment to a large number of local residents. A couple of years ago, J.P. Morgan Chase hired a couple of men with disabilities to work in their warehouse to assist with the sorting and shredding. These men were trained to separate colored paper, rubber bands, paper clips, photographs, and so on from regular white office paper. The men listened attentively to the instruction given, followed their supervisor's directions closely, and got the job done. J.P. Morgan Chase was very pleased with their productivity and how well they got along with the other workers. Actually, this inspired the company in November of 2022 to offer employment to a couple of more individuals participating in ARCO's vocational program. J.P. Morgan Chase employees embraced and included ARCO's supported employment individuals in all extracurricular activities such as birthday parties, holiday celebrations, and lots of other fun activities. People working in the warehouse became one big family and supported each other day in and day out. After the pandemic officially was over, the group decided to eat out again and socialize after work and invited our folks to join them. They made sure they knew about the gathering, and if someone needed a ride, one of the seasoned employees would offer to pick them up. Therefore, no one was left behind. To this day, the camaraderie at the workplace is beautiful. All employees in the shredding and sorting department work together and get the job done. Upper management is very pleased with the work. As a matter of fact, J.P. Morgan Chase approached us to recommend other persons in ARCO's supported employment program and have agreed to hire 2 ARCO participants this month and 1 more in December. In conclusion, I would like to quote Jennifer Shihai, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Labor in the Office of Disability Employment Policy. She said, "By fostering a culture that embraces individual difference, including disabilities, businesses profit by having a wider variety of tools to confront challenges. Our nation's most successful companies proudly, I repeat, make inclusion a core value. They know that inclusion works. It works for workers, it works for employers, it works for opportunity, and it works for innovation. Together, let's celebrate inclusion, not only in the workplace, but in every place. I would like to introduce a couple of three dear individuals to me right now. First of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Thomas Bradshaw. He came with us today. Thomas, please stand up and be recognized. Thomas has been successfully working in this department and has proven himself. He enjoys going to work every day, looks forward to it, and loves all of the other workers at J.P. Morgan Chase. And also, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. Michael Reeves and Mr. Heath Futch to you. They keep this department going. Michael is the supervisor, Mr. Hutch is the manager, and Michael has worked for J.P. Morgan Chase for the past 13 years and is in charge of the shred room. Michael has set the tone for his employees, always encouraging and understanding, and everyone in his department is very fond of him. Over the years, employees have appreciated and accepted Michael as their leader and have adopted his positive attitude and demeanor. Thank you all so very much.
On behalf of Chase, I would like to thank Governor Edwards and the Office of Disability Affairs for the honor of receiving this award. I would also like to thank Deidre and Etta from the amazing organization of ARCO for their nomination and their selfless work for the community. This program is possible due to the efforts of our Chase Business Solutions team, known as the BEST team, in partnership with ARCO and our Monroe staff. I'm so thankful for our BEST team's outstanding work sourcing talent and making Chase an accessible and inclusive work environment. They are the driving force that makes the impossible possible. I am thankful for our Chase leadership in Monroe, Janice Garrison and Heath Futch, for having the faith and trust in me to lead an amazing team. They have challenged me to be my best self, and I am grateful for the opportunity to employ clients of ARCO. This program could not be possible without our dedicated staff and their daily contributions to make this program a success. They are the main reason for this award. Lastly, our Chase Operations Center in Monroe celebrated its 30th anniversary this year, and now we're expanding our footprint with a new Operations Center in Ruston. We break ground on Thursday of this week. It is programs like our BEST program that make Chase a great place to work. As a firm, we remain committed to being an accessible and inclusive workplace in the communities where we live and operate. Thank you again for recognizing J.P. Morgan Chase, and I look forward to bringing this home to Monroe. Thank you.
The next award is Volunteer of the Year Award. This award is given in recognition of extraordinary service by a volunteer or organization that has substantially enhanced the opportunities in Louisiana for people with disabilities to use their skills and develop their potential as members of society. Now I would like to welcome Barbara Autan to introduce the award recipient.
Good afternoon. Effie has been a volunteer for Alzheimer's services for the Capital Area and Charlie's Place, our respite program, since 2018. COVID couldn't stop Effie. Although she was not allowed in Charlie's Place on the floor with clients present until the last few weeks of May 2023, she volunteered 2 days a week for those 2 years while she was kept from being on the floor itself. She was always in the background. She has been indispensable to the organization, from setting up activities for Charlie's Place clients, cleaning and organizing files. When not in Charlie's Place, she assists with everyday events or activities that were held in the development department in the past 2 years of Alzheimer's services. Effie received the Charlie's Place Outstanding Volunteer Award in 2019 and then received the Rosemary Award for volunteering for the entire organization. For years, and again in 2023, Effie volunteered on behalf of Alzheimer's Services at the Attic Trash and Treasure Sale. She spent countless hours and days setting up, pricing items for the sale, worked the sale event, and helped pack up after the sale. She continues to volunteer Wednesdays through Fridays by going to homes to clear out items left over from estate sales that will be sold at next year's AT&T sale. She, along with many other volunteers, participated and worked on behalf of Alzheimer's Services to help Alzheimer's Services be chosen as one of the nonprofits who received $50,000 from the Attic Trash and Treasure sale. Alzheimer's Services has been chosen again for the 2024 sale, and Effie is already volunteering. To receive the proceeds, volunteers must put in long hours on behalf of the organization they represent. I feel she was instrumental in our being chosen because of her dedication of service. The $50,000 will be used to provide respite reimbursement funding and educational programs and services to those affected by Alzheimer's disease in our community. Effie's husband, Elgin, had Alzheimer's disease and attended Charlie's Place until his death. She has a deep connection with us and is deeply grateful to those who cared for her husband at Charlie's Place and for all those affected by the disease. She is always very grateful to be working with our organization and calls work here her job. Although she has been retired for many years, she has a new job with us, and we consider her family. She also volunteers for her church. She is a gentle, kind, energetic, and loving person. She's always eager to assist and do whatever she is asked to do with a smile on her face and love in her heart. Effie?
It is with great honor that I accept this award today. I could not have done it with so many people that are around. To my co-workers, to my people that are the bosses, and to the people that are there to show me what to do and to help me to learn things that I haven't done before. I give great honors to each of them, especially to the young man that I work with Dadrick, and he's with honor. And some of the greatest ones that I work with are the ladies that are there each day to help me. It is great to be able to do some things that we know that will help others along the way. And I thank God each day for Alzheimer's and for Charlie's Place, and for the love that each of us have for each other. Thank you all.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liam Doyle. I'm the Senior Coordinator for the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs. The next award is Service Animal of the Year. This award is given in recognition to a service animal who has exhibited exceptional assistance to a person with a disability. Now, I would like to welcome Catherine Hendricks to introduce and speak on about the award recipient.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Kristen Powers. I'm the Executive Director of the Art Caddo Bossier in Shreveport, Louisiana, and it is my privilege to be with you all today. You may or may not know that today is the kickoff of World Kindness Week, and I can't imagine a better way to celebrate this week than spending it with all of you who have made kindness your mission. So thank you to all of you for your work. Thank you to Bambi and Goda for all of the work that they have done, and thank you to our governor for his support over the last 8 years. It is truly an honor and a privilege to represent the 450 people plus that we serve at the Art Caddo Bossier in Northwest Louisiana. We serve people with intellectual and developmental disabilities through a blanket of services, including community homes. We actually have the first community home that's still in existence in Northwest Louisiana, in the state of Louisiana. We also have home and community-based services, day programs, employment services, children's services through our expanding Goldman School, which is an inclusive early childhood development center. And we have a respite guest home. But what you may be wondering is, what's with the horse? And why do we have this as our award today? And it is because it is our distinct pleasure to have a program called GREAT at the Art Caddo Bossier, Great Results Equine Assisted Therapies. It is one of our most prestigious programs. Equine assisted services are a true niche offering, unlike any other. And I'm very proud that my own children have had the opportunity to be a part of GREAT through their Camp Victory, where they have enjoyed the experience of learning to ride horses along with children who maybe don't look, act, or speak just like them. GREAT delivers physical, psychological, and social benefits to everyone that goes through the program through recreation. GREAT helps riders gain independence and pride in new abilities, overcome challenging experiences, and meet new friends, most importantly. GREAT is also volunteer-powered. We have a very small paid staff, and I'm very grateful for the many, many volunteers who contribute hundreds and thousands of hours to allow this program to exist. GREAT just hosted the most successful fundraiser in the Art Caddo Bossier's history, raising much-needed funds for this program because this is not a funded program. This program relies on rider fees, and we want to keep those rider fees really affordable for our families. And with the rising costs of vet bills and feed and supplies, we have to raise money to do that. And so very, very proud of this program for the fundraising that they do each year. It also supports our training, which is associated with us being a PATH International certified program. That's the Professional Association of Therapeutic Horsemanship. And GREAT is home to about 17 horses, of which our nominee, Mr. T, is a superstar. As outlined in our nomination, Mr. T is a 27-year-old bay quarter horse with an outstanding personality and love for all things life. He joined GREAT in 2014 and passed his training faster than any horse ever had. Mr. T now serves more than 1,000 rides per year to children and adults with disabilities. More than 1,000 rides a year. And here to tell you more about Mr. T and accept this prestigious award on his behalf, because we didn't exactly want to trailer Mr. T down here today and walk him in this room, though we could have, is our director of the Art Caddo Bossier's GREAT program, Ms. Caroline Hendricks. Caroline has served in her role for 23 years. She has truly built GREAT into the program that it is today. And it is my privilege to work alongside Caroline to see firsthand her passion, compassion, and commitment to helping people with disabilities enjoy the many benefits of therapeutic horsemanship. We actually have some of our volunteers from the program here today as well, so we're very, very proud of GREAT and the work that Caroline has done to make this program possible. And we're very grateful for Mr. T for his service, and she'll tell you more about that. Caroline?
Thank you so much for having us and for honoring our beloved Mr. T as Service Animal of the Year for the great state of Louisiana. I've had the pleasure of working at the Art Caddo Bozier's GREAT program for 23 years, having a career which allows me to combine my love of horses and passion for helping individuals with disabilities has been incredible. Our program, as Kristen said, has 17 therapy horses, all of which are special. However, there are a few standouts, and Mr. T is one of them. Mr. T has been in our program for 10 years, and he has a gift that helps improve the lives of individuals with disabilities, physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively. He is an essential part of our team, and he understands the magnitude and importance of his work. He does it with compassion and kindness, and he loves being a part of a program that helps make a difference in the lives of so many people. His kind, inquisitive, and playful personality makes him everyone's favorite. Again, thank you so much for honoring Mr. T, and we appreciate this prestigious award. If you're ever in Northwest Louisiana, we would love to have you to our program to meet Mr. T. Thank you.
Our next award is the Ken Vance Memorial Award. Ken Vance was a rehabilitation counselor who touched lives of hundreds of people in Louisiana through his advocacy for people with disabilities. His commitment generated a greater public awareness of the needs of people with disabilities and fostered a greater participation in society for the disabled community. I would now like to welcome Quantrella Williams Porche to introduce this year's award recipient.
Good afternoon. Ken Vance was described as a fierce advocate. His personal experience living with a disability spearheaded his desire to right the wrongs that he saw happening to others around him. For Mr. Vance, a strong sense of compassion led to a vision, and his commitment to action led to change. Like Ken Vance, this year's award recipient is not afraid to challenge the status quo. He, too, has learned from his personal experience the barriers that exist for people living with disability. Therefore, in 2018, he started the Split Second Foundation and committed to breaking physical, societal, and research barriers for people living with disabilities. This foundation has created multiple programs, including a fitness center, providing mental health and wellness support, student education and mentorship opportunities, and resource navigation services, to name a few. He also works to improve advocacy and awareness, his most recent efforts being his Roll With Me campaign. His strong sense of compassion led to his vision, and his commitment to change is what fuels him to transform hope into action every day. It has been incredible to witness his journey since 2016, when he was injured, until now. He's done a lot in a short period of time, and I look forward to seeing what he will do to change the world moving forward. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Ken Vance Memorial Award recipient, Mark Raymond, Jr.
Sorry, good afternoon, and I'm humbled to receive this award. Real quick, right before we got on stage, I told Q I wanted her to talk about me the way they talked about that horse, and she didn't. So I just want that to be noted, because I am joyful and playful too, and I think that's what makes our working environment so amazing. 7 years ago, I was introduced to the disability community very unexpectedly, like most of us are. What I've learned in that time is that inclusion and all of the things that it takes for anybody to live a high quality of life, we deserve. Whether that's access into old buildings, accessible transportation options, all of the things. Yet, very often it just seems like the very accessibility we're looking for is just so far out of reach. And doing this work, waking up every day, focused on making the lives of people with disabilities better, it really lights my fire when I embrace those challenges and those barriers. And but days like today make the work worth it. And so I'm thankful and humbled to be here to receive this award today. And I look forward to continuing the journey. I also want to give Bambi a huge shout out because she is probably the hardest working person in disability advocacy and affairs ever. So let's round of applause for Bambi. And lastly, to my mother and my family who have been committed to this journey and making sure that I live a high quality of life so I can make the impact and wake up and do the work. I don't know where my mother went, but thank you. Oh, there's Mom. Hey, Mom. And then lastly, to my staff, Q and Mary and the rest of the team in New Orleans, and as we expand, you guys make the work easy. You make it fun, you bring your passion and your energy and your joy into a space that can often be painful and hard. I think hard is just the right word. But you do it with such poise, and you do it every day with the same level of energy and charisma that we need to tackle some of these issues. And so I'm extremely grateful to work alongside and for you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Lillian Dejean and I previously served as the Senior Coordinator of the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs. I'm honored to present the Patsy Baret Memorial Award. Patsy Baret was a human rights activist and she initiated the Gold Awards in 1982 to recognize people who work for equality, justice, and dignity for people with disabilities. Ms. Baret was also involved in policy development at a national level, and she worked with leaders to help formulate the Americans with Disabilities Act into federal law. I would like to welcome Mary Delahousie to introduce our recipient.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here today to introduce a woman that many of you may already know from her long tenure for disability advocacy in the state of Louisiana and beyond, and that is Dr. Ashley Volion. Dr. Volion could not be with us today, but she is watching via live stream, so if we want to give her a round of applause, she can hear it. Dr. Volion embodies so much of what Patsy Baret embodied. Similarly, and in particularly, a tenacious spirit and work in the advocacy, legislature, and community. Dr. Voleon did send a few words with me to share with you all that I will read now. Good evening. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for joining this special occasion dedicated to celebrating the remarkable individuals who have been at the forefront of advancing the cause of inclusivity and justice for those with disabilities in Louisiana. Regrettably, I cannot be there today due to my ongoing recovery from COVID, which has left my immune system on the mend. Winning this prestigious Patsy Baret Memorial Award has left me both astonished and deeply honored. The achievements that have led to this recognition are not solely mine, they are the collective result of the support and collaboration within my community and the individuals who have stood beside me. This award is a testament to the dedication of many who have worked tirelessly to ensure equality, justice, and dignity for people with disabilities. It is a reflection of the collective effort, and I'm privileged to be a part of that community that values and champions the rights of every individual, regardless of ability. Once again, thank you all for this incredible honor. I look forward to continuing our shared commitment to making a positive impact in the lives of those we serve. And that was Dr. Ashley Voleon.
Hello, my name is Jonette Dunn. I am the mother of April Dunn. It is my honor to present the April Dunn Youth of the Year Award. April was the senior coordinator in the Governor's Office of Disability Affairs and chairperson of the Developmental Disabilities Council. April was a vocal and respected advocate and leader. She advocated on many issues, including education, employment, health care, home and community-based services, housing, transportation, and recreation. She was known for her ability to share her experience as a person with a disability in a way that was very impactful and led to many laws and policies benefiting people with disabilities. Now, I would like to welcome Mimi Webb to introduce the award recipient.
Good afternoon. Let's see. Apologies, I'm out of ink. I'd like to introduce the recipient for the April Dunn 2023 Youth Award to my daughter Vivian Webb, who has advocated tirelessly for her peers among the developmental disabilities community. She is a triplet. She's 17 and a senior now at Caddo Virtual Academy, where she was just recently named Student of the Year for her little school, which she returned to a year after going back to in-person for her first year of in-person high school, her junior year, which didn't go so hot. Her grades were great, but autism in females tends to evolve and develop more when you are older. And she has been tackling and learning to live with all things being a female with autism. And it proved challenging at times, yes, but she has proudly weathered through so much. Vivian first advocated with LaCan for our region, up in Region 7, which is in Shreveport-Bossier area, so it's about a 4-hour drive down here to the Capitol. But she wanted to tag along and see what we do, and she put together Oh, well, the issues that year, we were trying to get more funding for the lowest funded regions in the Northwest Louisiana Human Service District, and that was a problem. Fixing the funding inequalities is always challenging, but Vivian found a different aspect to tell the story from and to show where the deficits lie. So she helped put together her own testimony the night before the drive down for committee. And we got there, and I was like, I don't think they'll let her read it, but they looked at it and went, oh no, she has to tell this story. And so 12-year-old Vivian walked in with a bag full of Beanie Boos and sat at that committee table and testified and told the stories of things that happened to she, her brothers, and their best friends growing up in school, and then the things that they experienced from not having enough funding up in our region for things such as crisis management at the time and other things. We walked out of the committee, and the next few days, we got a phone call from Sandy, and she's like, lo and behold, would you know it, they put that money back in the budget. And it was originally a $2.5 million ask. They right-sized it at conference committee, but it did come out with $2 million in funding, and she was only 12. So then the pandemic hit, and of course we were all sidelined and virtual. And Mr. Patty had shown her and told her the story of how important the council was and how there was a little girl on the council as well. Well, she's not little anymore, Lillian. But Vivian heard about Lillian, and she learned about Lillian, and finally she got to meet Lillian in person after a while, but not before she found her own way to the council herself. Vivian currently is in her second year of a 4-year term on the Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council, where she's advocated for not just the funding for the lowest funded human service districts in the state, but also for helping get cameras placed in the classroom and to help secure the funding for those cameras through Senate Finance. That was a fun one. She realized when she went down there, all masked and kind of worried about catching COVID because she has a very bad immune system. Being a triplet, that's just part of it, unfortunately. But she was flabbergasted to see the same parents that were there telling the same stories from when she first came down when she was 12 were still there, only we'd been through the pandemic. We'd been silent for a couple of years, and here she sits. So she got up there at the testimony table, and she told the story about and asked a question, and she's like, excuse me, but the ladies that just spoke, they were here when I was 12. I'm 16 now. Why aren't you listening? And she proceeded to reiterate exactly what the stories of these two ladies were, and she remembered it from memory. We walked away with an additional $8 million funding that year for cameras in the classroom, care of Vivian. She also worked with Lillian on the Youth Ad Hoc Committee for the YLF and helped put the camp together. Vivian was hospitalized this past summer. She got out of the hospital, and the next day I had to drive her down so she could work at YLF, barely home. And she worked tirelessly through the weekend, and she helped facilitate the camp that she helped Lillian put together, along with Nicole and some others. But of course, she worked on that Youth Ad Hoc Committee, and that was one of the very first things she did as a council member. And today I'd like to honor Vivian of all of her accomplishments, and this one has been the most, I think, to her. Because when she went to put her portfolio together, she was worried because she wasn't enough. And honey, I think you're enough.
I would like to thank the past director of the Louisiana Developmental Disabilities Council, Amy DeVille, the current director, Ebony Haven, our data dude, Breton, the council staff, past and present council members for never discriminating against me for my age, Mitch Iddens for showing me how it's done, and I would like to thank Robert Patty for inspiring me to join the council. I would also love to thank Bambi Polizzola for always supporting me and respecting me. In addition, of course, I have to thank Lillian for always being a friend and inspiring me. It was a blast working wildlife with them and helping it come to fruition. One day we will have party hats at the council and hopefully also a disco ball. And of course, thank you for my mom for teaching me to stand up for what's right and for driving me to wherever I need to be to do that.
The final award to be presented this afternoon is the Distinguished Merit Award. This award is given in recognition of extraordinary service by an individual, organization, or firm working in the disability field that has consistently presented opportunities in Louisiana for people with disabilities to utilize their capabilities in achieving full participation in today's society. Now I would like to welcome Rashad Bristow to introduce the award recipient.
Thank you, Jamar. Good afternoon. I'm Rashad Bristow, and I'm here. It's a very easy task for me. I'm here to speak about someone who had impacted my life since 2007. And 16 years ago, I had an opportunity to meet Gail Dean. She was executive director of New Horizons Independent Living Center, and she had such a footprint in the disabilities community. She spoke softly, but her words carried so much weight. She was also one who, every time you saw her, she was with a smile, and you never knew if you really got under her skin because she smiled anyway. The thing about Gail was she believed in other people. She saw in them what sometimes they could not see in themselves. And in the process, she was executive director of New Horizons Independent Living Center. She was a board member of the Advocacy Center at the time. Now it's recognized as Disability Rights. She sat on the Silk Council, and she just touched so many lives. If you can ever say someone had a domino effect, it was Anna Gail Dean. On April 18th, God made the decision, told Gail her advocacy was over. It was time for her to come get her rest. But her daughter's here to receive the award upon her behalf. Stacy.
I'm a little nervous here. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the definition of leadership is the action of leading a group of people or an organization. Also noting that true leaders take risks and challenge status quo while motivating others to achieve something new and better. My mother was definitely a leader, whether she was at home, at work, or promoting her hobbies and passions. She excelled in every position she ever held and had the ability to work alongside anyone. Mom wanted her advocacy for inclusion to not only be heard throughout her life, but also carried on after her last breath was taken, going as far as being adamant that necessary accommodations be made for those who wish to attend her celebration of life. Some accommodations were, but not limited to, a sign language interpreter for the hearing impaired, and adequate access for those with mobility issues. She faced each challenge head-on, one example being the transformation of the statewide Independent Living Council that was once a part of the governor's office, but now has the privilege and responsibility to function as an autonomous entity because my mom fought and advocated for it to become what it is today. Her work was not only a labor of love, but a ministry to glorify her Lord and Savior. While Mom did not look for special recognition or accolades for her work, she would be honored to know that she has not only been nominated, but also selected to be the recipient of the Distinguished Merit Award. As her daughter and spokesperson for her family, I would like to say thank you on her behalf and ours. We are truly honored that she has been given the opportunity to receive this award. Thank you to those who made this possible. We know it has been a collective effort to honor such an amazing woman as Gail Dean. She makes us all proud. Rest in peace, Mom. Your efforts have not gone unnoticed. Thanks for your leadership abilities. We love you and miss you dearly. Thanks again for the honor of this award.
Congratulations again to all of the Gold Award recipients. It's always been an honor every year to participate in the Gold Awards and being able to recognize such amazing people. As I said at the beginning, it is bittersweet that this is our last Gold Award in this administration, but I hope that this program continues for many years to come, and I plan to attend when it does. Thank you to all the recipients for all that you do. Thank you for all of the people who support the recipients in the work that they do in our communities. And thank you for our past staff, GOTA staff, current, KJ, Liam, Jolyn, Alicia, Jamar, Melanie, and Jessica, and Lillian. I think I got everybody. Thank you. I think it says a lot about our office that you guys all came together, and hopefully I wasn't a bad boss because y'all showed up today, so that says something. Huh? So thank you guys. Have a great rest of the year and a safe trip home.